I move that we approve the minutes from our previous meeting, from June 16th.
Second.
The motion and second to approve the minutes from June 16th. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, that motion will pass. Does anybody in the audience have any questions or comments pertaining to tonight's agenda? All right, we'll move on to payments and vouchers. First one is payroll claim register for the pay period of June 2nd to June 15th, an amount of $44,838.93. Second one would be payroll claim register for the pay period of June 16th to June 29th, an amount of $44,841.49. Third would be June elected pay, an amount of $4,567.99. And lastly will be vouchers for the period of June 18th to July 2nd, an amount of $888,324.16.
I move we approve the payments and vouchers for the payroll claim register for pay period 6/2 to 6/15, the amount of $44,838.92. Payroll claim register for pay period 6/16 to 6/29, the amount of $44,841.49. June elected pay in the amount of $4,567.99, and vouchers for the period 6/18 to 7/2, in the amount of $888,324.16.
I second the motion for the payroll claim registries as read.
The motion and second to approve the payments and vouchers as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, that motion will pass. Next will be adjustment requests. We have 3 of them. First one is 2025-29 for 418 North Ash. Leak in the main line, credit wastewater $99.02. Second one is 2025-30, 409 North Ivy, leak under the house, credit wastewater $129.57. And the last one is 2025-31, 503 West Main, leak outside the building, credit wastewater $299.49.
I move that we take care of the adjustment request for 418 North Ash for the leak in the main line and credit wastewater in the amount of $99.02. Also 109 North Ivy for the leak under the house and credit wastewater for $129.57. And as well as the 503 West Main leak outside the building and credit wastewater for $299.49.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the adjustment request as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, that motion will pass. Department reports, we'll start off with Andrew.
I actually have nothing for the board of works except for we did get a little delayed on the permit software. Andrew Cruz is updating that and should have that to us by the next commissioners meeting for them to approve. So once that happens, hopefully next meeting, I'll be bringing you guys. Here's how much it's going to cost you to get approval. So that is still moving. It just got delayed a little bit from the county.
Okay. Matt.
Actually, we have something for the board works for the change. I put in there, had to drive, survey review about the window in the training room at PD there. It's been broke for a period of time. We replaced it 3 or 4 times since I've been there. It runs $900 to $1,000 to replace it each time. And speaking with everybody, I I feel at this point, I'm being a little redundant. And would it actually make more sense just to get rid of the window and block that off, because there's really no need for the window. So at this time, I'm asking that the board works review the quotes that I put in there. One is for web construction for $2,900, the other is for Henderson for $5,500 to replace that, or get rid of that window and infill that, repaint it.
Did they explain to you what the cold weather protection is on either one? I don't see cold weather protection, but I'm assuming Henderson Construction may have that included on their quote.
On Henderson, all I see is the remove window, closing window masonry, drywall replacement. Inside, but it's not drywall, that's brick.
It's all brick.
Yeah. And then repaint the interior walls.
Is there a need for cold weather protection on the inside of that treating room?
I wouldn't see why. It's part of the police department.
Okay. Was there any conversation of the justification of the $5,500 from Henderson Construction?
No.
No.
A couple of these are almost like pulling teeth to get some quotes.
Yeah.
So.
Do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I don't, looks like a pretty easy decision to me.
Yeah. I move that we approve the web construction for the $2,900, to take care of police training, window replacement with block wall.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the quote from Web Contracting or Web Concrete, not to exceed $2,990. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, that motion passed.
Thank you.
Thank you. So Ron's not here tonight, so Mark.
I have nothing through Board of Works.
Thank you. Braxton.
The only thing I have for the Board of Works is, next Board of Works, I'll be introducing a, proposal for, a different internet provider, so just be prepared for that.
Thank you. Gavin.
I have the apprenticeship program. I don't know if you were gonna say that.
Yeah, as far as the, contract wise,
And just the approval for the,
yeah. They had a Roman note, so I sent out an email to Justin Bob on the apprenticeship for Kendall, and I know it was discussed last meeting, and July 1st, I believe, was the deadline to get her in that class and also get a little bit of funding for it as well. So we communicated via email, so tonight I just need to have that as a formal motion to have Kendall enroll in that apprenticeship class. And I know we talked about a 2-year contract on her. Gavin couldn't find anything, Angel didn't have anything, I didn't have anything on mine, so we'll get with Don afterwards and have him draw up a contract that she signed for a two-year agreement, and that would be after the class is completed, because this class is gonna take almost 2 years to complete, so it don't make sense to do your contract, and then after the class is up, you know, she could go if she wanted to, which I don't think she will, but we just wanna kinda cover our bases, make sure if we're investing some money that, the folks stick around and get our money's worth, so. So I just need a verbal or a motion on that, to get it on.
I move that we approve, the apprentice training for Kendall in the amount of $2,159, to complete it for a 2-year, contract after the classes have been completed. And that would be a 2-year contract with the city.
Second. Motion and a second to approve the apprenticeship for Kindle Shoe Line, not to exceed $2,159, and attached to that would be a 2-year contract after completion. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Hearing none, that motion will pass.
I also have I don't have the proposal yet, they're working on it. We're having issues with our SCADA system out of the treatment plant, and Donahue is the one that installed it, and they're the only ones that really program it. You know, we have a couple flow meters that aren't reading, and our level sensor out in the CSO structure that tells us when it's about to overflow. There's a couple other things, but, I contacted Donahue to see if they could come in and work on it. Brady's the guy that always works on it, he's the one that actually programmed it. And I know for a while they had, when it was still new, they worked on it for us, they worked all the issues out, but now we're out of that phase, so. They're writing up a proposal for $10,000 to have like an on-call budget thing, so we can call them whenever we need them, to just pull out of that, or whatever the work's gonna cost.
Do you estimate $10,000 for the remaining of the year, to be sufficient enough for the SCADA programming?
Yeah.
So do you think it would exceed that or be less than that?
I think, it'll probably be less than that unless something else pops up. I don't think this issue that they're gonna come work on now will come close to that probably.
Okay, but there's funds left over that go into the following year?
Yeah.
What was your hourly rate, like 245 or something like that?
Yeah, Brady's hourly rate is $245, and then they would also have to charge for, travel and then any other expenses that they would have.
Bob, do you have any other questions for him on this?
No, I'm gonna move that we approve the service agreement with Donahue for the, SCADA system, not to exceed $10,000.
A second?
A motion and a second to approve the contract for the SCADA system with Donahue as presented. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Hearing none, that motion will pass.
That's all I have, thank you.
Right, Don, you have anything for the board?
None.
Thank you. Angela?
I don't have anything either.
Thank you. Justin, you have anything for the board works? No, we do not. Bob?
No, sir.
I have a couple of things for the board works. First one will be, it's on your Google Drive and in your packet there for the special event request for the back to school bash. That was held up to Maxwell's Park Sunday, July 20th, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. They want to use both pavilions on the east and west side. some local organizations out there giving away shoes, doing free haircuts, face painting, giving out clothes, there'll be a picnic with lunch provided, kids game, touch a truck event, and site disc golf will be on site to teach the kids the game.
Move that we approve the special event for the back to school bash.
Second.
Motion second to approve the back to school bash event, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, that motion will pass.
Sounds like a pretty cool event.
Yeah, I guess that's third year doing that. Well, yeah, we'll have Andy out there. No, we do, I just moved over and, sorry. Yeah, well, just like see how everyone else does it, then you can stop.
I didn't really have anything from the board work, so an announcement of hydrant flushing, starting the week of July 14th to the 25th. I'll be doing a full system hydrant flush. That letter will be posted on.
Yeah, get those radios and you get that posted on our Facebook.
There you go.
All righty. Anybody else?
No, I'm the only one.
Yeah. Not the first time, right? All right, my last one I have on there, the last meeting, talked to you guys about, bring a proposal here. Proposed hotel development, survey. We've had some people reach out to me and say, hey, could Butler support a hotel? Was in contact about 6 or 7 of the hotels over to Butler, kind of expressing our desires a little bit, had good conversations with them. They're very surprised that, from Lake Station area to Kendallville along US 6, you have the motel in Kendallville. Not really nothing else on 6 that is if you go north or south. If you go from Kendallville to Upper Sandusky, nothing on US 6 unless you go north or south of 6 at Napoleon, Bowling Green. So they've always in a pretty unique position to possibly support a hotel. And obviously you can't get anybody to come to any cities, towns to do that unless there's some type of a study proposed. So a couple of the hotel people I talked with from Auburn gave me recommendations on 2 individuals that do this type of study. One was Paytech Hospitality Consultants out of Sussex, Wisconsin, and the other one was Spencer Group, and they are out of Michigan. So I reached out to both of them, had some good conversation back and forth, done some research on some of the other proposals that they had done for other communities throughout the U.S. and had them throw a proposal together of what it would take to do a feasibility study in the city of Butler. So you can see on the first one, you have Spencer Group. Her fee for that is $6,000 plus any out-of-pocket expenses, which would be travel. So she's obviously coming from Michigan. There's also a report on there called an STR report that's totally separate that she would have to purchase as well, and that is for $660. So you're looking at about $7,000, $66.60 plus travel expenses for her. You go to the Paytech side, and like I said, she's out of Wisconsin. She also has that $660 report. That's just a straight across the board fee for any of that. And her pricing on that was, I believe it's $9,000 plus she will cap her expenses off at $1,000, so that's $10,000. Plus you have $660 for the SRT report, so it puts her at $10,660 versus roughly $7,660, so roughly $3,000 for them. Now, they get here and they start to study, then they realize that, the potential is not here for the city to do this. They'll stop there, and you end up getting billed out for half of the contract. So it does give you a kind of an escape clause in case the numbers just don't match up. But talking to both of them, they understood the unique opportunity that we have here with our industries, possibly being able to use that. Obviously, the market structure, we would use that as well. I'm going back to the industries that shipping their people off to Auburn, Fort Wayne, they're going to have something closer to home. So after talking about Justin a little bit, we felt that, hey, we think that he could be here, especially as we look at the west side, the west edge development over the years. It's going to be proactive and be reactive. So that's why I put this packet together for you guys to review. Send you some reports from the other ones to review as well, and kind of get you guys to speak that at the next meeting. And if this is approved, if Dan take that out of our seeded funds, for economic development, which that would fit into this rather well. That's where I'm at on that. If you have any questions.
Was there one that you preferred over the other, or one that showed a better return?
Payton was really responsive. But she's $3,000 more. I had a little rougher time getting the response back from the Spencer Group. But then when I finally did talk to her, she was going through some major medical. And that was the reason for her not being really responsive. So I took that, really and think, okay, that makes sense why she wasn't returning phone calls. So both of these are more of a smaller company. I mean, there's medium and then there's bigger ones out there. So the fees go up, but 2 or 3 of them will tell people. And Auburn told me that you can't go wrong with either one of these 2 gals right here. So we're looking at, if they're going to be pretty equal, then I guess we look at the cost side of it.
If they're equal, I think it comes down to the expense.
Yeah.
Spencer does say 4 to 5 pages.
What's that?
Spencer says 4 to 5 page report as a final product. Did Paytech give any indication of?
Well, this is one of Paytech's right here that I sent in for reference. This one here's 5 pages on.
So about the same for both.
Yeah.
That's what I wondered.
They both been in business for a long time, so I think you can probably get the same response of it.
Proposals look pretty much,
Yes, it's a Paytech caps there, so.
What's that?
Paytech caps there, it looks.
1,000, yeah, this one doesn't, Spencer doesn't, but I gotta think that being from Michigan versus traveling to Wisconsin.
Give big bolts to you out of Michigan, that without saying it, the response time will be now approved, they'll pass their medical.
I figure what she had going on, she told me what she had going on.
That's the only thing that makes me nervous is if, obviously, health comes first.
Yeah.
That's kind of the timing.
I think that where she's at this stage, and she's gonna be all right. Yeah, I get probably more information on her medical than I really care to get out, but,
I just want to make sure it's treated as.
it's good to feel comfortable enough to say, hey, this
Hold
is
this
why.
you know, we're out of Michigan.
Yeah, she's out of Michigan.
I know.
Plymouth?
Michigan could be,
I thought it was on here, but I did not see that on there.
it's Marquette, that could be.
Yeah, no, it wasn't Marquette. I want to say it's somewhere around that middle of Michigan, more on the west side.
It's Plymouth.
Yeah, I saw
Plymouth, okay,
Yeah,
I thought it was on there somewhere.
Just do that, couple hours.
No, Board of Works meeting, but any council members or anybody, if there's any questions on that or anything like that as well.
$6,000 isn't, anything to sneeze at, but at the same time, considering the potential gain, and the fact that it's coming from seeded money, I think it's worth it.
I think going with the Spencer group would be probably the best decision, in my opinion. Just kind of reviewing between the two reports, limitations of the study, the, other group, they have a few things that they're not gonna do, which would be included, additional costs. I feel like there'll be some more expenses. Hospitality over Spencer, I feel like we're gonna get about the same amount, so. Any other opinion you have?
Yeah, I'm comfortable going to Spencer.
I think kind of about the time I don't have to go. We don't know where our potential is until we actually put something out there.
And you may find out, there is none too, but
Yeah.
it's will only be $3,500.
Yeah, you try to see what our market availability was, or sustain it or not, and there's a clause to get out of it halfway through.
I move that we move forward with, the Spencer group, with Wanda L. Spencer, in order to do the research study for the potential hospitality of a hotel, within Butler. If we want to set aside a max amount of $10,000 and not to exceed that amount.
Yeah, that would cover expenses and everything, so yeah, I'm good with that. So second.
A motion and a second to approve the contract with the Spencer Group on the hotel feasibility study, not to exceed $10,000. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Hearing none, the motion passed. All right, thank you. So I have, does anybody in the audience have anything for the Board of Works?
Can I ask a question pertaining to the hotel, this hotel thing?
You want to come forward a little bit, state your name?
Yeah, my name
Get
is
that
Sam.
microphone and
Yeah, my name's Henry Young, so I live at 210 East Washington Street, right across from Youngstown. This is the first that I've heard, about this hotel, but, and it's a good thing, progress. But while I was sitting here, some questions was coming to mind. Okay, we're gonna pay them to come here to do a study about us. That's fine. Does the study also include them, about them? Examples. What type of security are they gonna recommend? Key fob, card for the doors, finger recognition, face.
I'm not sure this is just a consulting group, this is the actual hotel.
Right, that's what I'm asking, if that was part of the,
Service?
service, yeah, so.
yeah, that necessarily wouldn't be part of the.
This would be a feasibility, so this is just, can Butler support, can we get enough traffic to have some hotel vendor come here. And then a hotel vendor would say, okay, this is advantageous, they would make, then they would have to propose, you know, we wanna do this, this, and this, here.
You're way on down the road.
Yeah, you're thinking way ahead for sure. No, it's good, it's good, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff would be, Henry, would be covered like in the pre-con meetings, and stuff for drawing.
No, good questions.
So he's glad that you showed up and participated. Hopefully we get to that point though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have any questions for the Board of Works? All right, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn.
Okay.
I second.
All right, meeting adjourned at 7:02, so give us about 5 minutes and we'll get started with the common council.